Section 3 Glacial Erosion. Glaciers acquire sediment through plucking from the bedrock beneath the glacier by abrasion of bedrock using sediment already in the ice, and when mass wasting processes drop debris on top of glacier. Grinding of the bedrock produces grooves and scratches called glacial striations. As you see in the picture here, and you can go through it from your slides as well. And we are going to watch a video about the erosional landform created by alpine glaciers, and these are the erosional features produced by the valley glaciers or alpine glaciers.
This is Callan Bentley. Welcome back for another Smart Figure. After watching this video, you should be able to identify and describe erosional glacial landforms that occur in areas of alpine glaciation. Here's a look at an area of alpine glaciation. This is Piteau Lake in the Canadian Rockies, and you can see a bunch of awesome glacial features here. You'll note the U-shaped valleys that are very prominent in this image, including some small ones that feed into the larger ones. Where those U-shaped valleys intersect, you end up getting these sort of knife-edge ridges, and you see a pointy little mountain here in the background. The lake itself is a glacial feature. Let's take a look at all of these. So the Canadian Rockies probably started off as a landscape that would look something like what you see in this picture. There would be stream-cut valleys, which have a V-shaped profile. But then the climate got colder, the valleys filled with snow, the snow packed into ice, and the ice began to flow. This made glaciers. And those glaciers eroded into the rock that they flowed over, and they carved it into new shapes. After the glaciers melted away, those shapes remained, and you can see some of them here. Here's that pointy mountain with the faceted sides. That's called a horn. The sort of amphitheater-shaped features up at the top of these small valleys are referred to as cirques because they kind of call to mind a circus or a circle. If you find a small lake in a cirque, you might call it a tarn. If one tarn flows into another, which flows into another, that whole string of lakes is referred to as a set of pater-noster lakes. And then, of course, there's the main glacial valleys themselves, which are U-shaped. The intersection of those U-shapes can produce the knife-edge ridges known as arêtes, and where the arêtes abruptly truncate against the main glacial trough, you see truncated spurs. Let's take a look at what happens where a river flows out of a hanging valley and into the main glacial trough. That ends up frequently producing spectacular waterfalls, like this one here in Yosemite National Park. See the U shape of the hanging valley that hosts that river? That U-shaped theme appears again and again. Here's a cirque, and you can see that it is U-shaped in profile. And then up above is an arête. You can see the edge of one U-shaped valley leading up to that arête. If you were to draw what this arête looks like from a cartoon kind of perspective here, you've got two U-shaped valleys intersecting with one another, and the pointy knife-edge ridge that separates them is referred to as an arête. Let's see what we can identify here in this picture. This is looking at an alpine glacial landscape, and you can see some of these erosional features. Hopefully you notice the U-shape to the valleys. You can also see here's a little tarn, and it looks like there's a drainage that goes into another little tarn, which goes into this bigger tarn here. That would be a series of pater-noster lakes, okay, like beads on a string. Off in the distance here, you can see the knife-edge ridge of an arête separating one glacial valley from its neighbors. And there's some mountains in here that have vaguely faceted slopes, not really classic-looking horns, but perhaps you could call that a horn as well. All right, nicely done. Hope you identified those features. There are many more to be found in your textbook. Thanks very much for your attention. This has been